Yes, we've heard it too. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's easy for us to forget in a small church that there's kids who need special love.
No, you guys have been awesome, and I just thank God every day that we found you guys when we did, because a lot of things, I mean, we found you last December, and then we got pregnant, surprise, surprise, and then Daniel got diagnosed, and this was just the perfect church for us to be in, and you guys are great. I'm probably going to try again, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I do it every time I have to talk to you. Before I turn it over to Reagan, you're next, so this is your heads up. Worship training does not have to last 40 minutes. Okay? If you want to get, how do I frame what I'm thinking here? To me, even though she just said this has been a real help to Daniel, to me, this is the least important part of our time with the kids in worship training. The sermon or the story time. To me, like I said, we're teaching them how to worship. If we get to the sermon, that's great. If we're having wonderful dialogue about the Apostles' Creed or the Lord's Prayer or worship or whatever else, to me that takes precedent. Because most of the children, not all of them, but most of the children have already been through Sunday school and they're getting discipleship and Bible stories already. So worship training should be true worship training. And if we get to this, that's great. You don't have to focus on it. If you want to go through it and go really quickly or just let them look at the pictures, you can kind of feel the kids out how they are that day. Are they going to sit through a story or, are they not? But if you do finish before the time is up, and particularly on those weeks when we do run really long, like communion, Nathan preaching, visitors, whatever's going on, it will run long. They are free to have just free playtime. Or pull down some of the arts and crafts or whatever you can find in there. Or take them outside and let them play if it's a nice day. They do not have to stay in that room. But I will ask, if you are outside and you see church letting out, bring the kids back in so that the parents know where their children are and they can go there to pick them up. So. That said, we're all going to turn into preschoolers now. And Miss Reagan's going to do worship training with you. And you've already had a snack. So no goldfish. Do you want this?
Yeah, I mean, in Sunday school.
They do it in Sunday school.
They do? Yeah, they do during worship training.
What, about snack? What was the question?
Yeah. When do they get snack?
Against my better wishes, a lot of the Sunday school teachers, especially the younger ones, will give them snack time. So some of the kids are getting a snack in Sunday school, and they're getting another snack at worship training. So, yeah, we generally only do goldfish, animal crackers. We used to do lemonade, but I quit doing that. We're now just water. And I think the toddlers will sometimes get graham crackers.
Would it be too hard or too expensive to do something with protein in it, like cheese sticks or something like that? I think it might help with the sugared up.
Well, that was why we cut back to animal crackers and goldfish and no lemonade. So there's not that much sugar.
Those are straight carbs.
True, I understand. That's a very good point. But they're non-perishable too. So, and cheap. So while I confess it's not the healthiest option, it's an easy option.
Is it something that would be okay for the, on our month to bring in?
Sure.
Some protein, if that was okay?
Sure.
For the parents,
Where's
oh,
sugar
that's
tonight?
nice. Yeah,
No,
it says-
but you don't want to go there with peanuts.
No.
You're going to have
Yeah,
somebody
we
who's
don't
peanut
serve
allergic.
peanut products.
Yeah.
No, allergic.
We're not peanut free, are we?
We're not peanut free, but I will not serve peanut butter. And I know at VBS we don't serve anything with nuts.
That's good. It's
Yeah.
just so
It's-
dangerous.
I mean, the products that we serve may have been prepared in a factory that had peanuts. I mean, but we won't purposely serve anything with any form of nut. So.
Besides cheese, what would you suggest?
Vienna sausages.
Jerky is expensive.
That's my mother used to eat sausages.
Yes.
Oh, you want to make a paid worship training? What'd you say?
I don't think that'd be helpful.
What was it? Oh, Abby was it also. Oh, yes, child party.
And they're almost non-perishable. Yeah. More non-perishable than cheese sticks. And even when you get it saying
Yeah.
they're almost non-perishable.
With the sodium intake of those things?
But we're just getting.
I know, there is no perfect food, so, yeah. The month that you have them, I have no problems, just, if y'all want to bring something else. It's just, that's what we have listed in our volunteer manual or parents manual, that this is what we serve. And that's, if they've read it and haven't given me any complaint about it, or my child has allergies, then I have their okay. And that's all I've been approved to give him. So anything other than that, if you're bringing a snack that day, I would definitely check with the parents for food allergies and other types of things like that. So I have no problem with it. Just make sure you're checking with the parents before you feed them. And some of the, how do I say this? Some of the mothers of the younger ones have specific dietary wishes, like Harry. He brings his own. I'll tell you right now, Eddie. He brings his own snack for his dietary needs. I know the Vreelings don't like the sugar cookies, so they get goldfish. And then there are some other ones. I don't know what their needs are, but I just know it's like goldfish. Don't give them goldfish. So we're hoping that those mothers are bringing their own acceptable snacks. So yeah, you got to be very careful what you're giving the toddlers, because they can't speak for themselves. Whereas the Vreelings, the first day, oh, we're not allowed to have those. And I didn't have to wait for the mother to tell me. It was great. But the younger ones that don't speak, yeah. So I get in trouble at least once a year from a mom. You gave him a graham cracker or a gold? No.
We forgive you.
So really, yeah. Just don't slip them any candy. I get in big trouble for that. Okay.
Okay, just a couple little thoughts before I get started. You might be wondering about the video camera over here. We decided to do a nanny cam during worship training. Keep everybody in line. That's right. We're going for continuity here, right? So, no. To Sharon's point, when you finished up, just saying how great it is to be a part of this body and the way that they receive children, made me think about the church we used to go to. Every week on the bulletin at the bottom, in bold print, it was printed, your children have a special place in our heart and in our nursery. And we were met at the door. If you had a child with you that appeared to be, 7 or younger, they would literally, can we show you, where, and it's just nice to see kids receive, like Jesus received them, here. And that was one of the things that we loved about this church. So, and I appreciate, even too, looking at this first page here, where all the kids' names are listed, and just details about it. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. And we appreciate that. We appreciate you putting the time and effort into thinking about those things, because it makes, it's just special.
Well, before you go any further on the pats on the back, I will say I love y'all for doing it, because I confess, I'm an organizer. I'm not necessarily really Diane Jerome was a lover of children.
Yeah.
And if I had to compare myself to her, I miss that quality. I think Children's Ministry is missing in their director a true, pure love that she would get her hands on every child she could. Me, perfectly happy to have a Sunday school teacher and the teachers do it. So without you, there would be very little love. I'm a discipliner. So that being said, thank you for loving your love.
Discipline is love.
That's right.
It is.
So bring the rod, baby.
I can't bring the rod on other people's children.
A couple of other thoughts.